Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Andrew from PoshDesigns, and today I'm coming at you guys with another tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be a little bit more of an advanced tutorial, and this is going to be how to design an advanced banner for your 2013 YouTube One account. Now, right here, as you guys see, I have an account that has not been updated to the YouTube One, and YouTube has been telling me that I have about 8 more days until I have to upgrade to the YouTube One account. So they are going to make you upgrade to the account, which I'm really bummed out about, because since I am a partner with YouTube, I have the banner, and now everyone is going to just be on the same account, and it kind of bums me out just because of the fact that I like being able to have the kind of abilities to be able to be a partner, but whatever, it's not a big deal. So this is going to be just from scratch. I'm not going in with an idea or anything, so this will be maybe a little bit of a lengthy tutorial, so definitely have some time to be able to finish it. But yeah, guys, let's hop right on in it. So I'm going to hop on into Photoshop, and I'm going to say File, Open. Now what you guys are going to have to do is open up the link in the description below, and definitely go ahead and click on that, and that will be able to have you download the YouTube One template that my buddy has made for you. So definitely go ahead and check that out. I'm going to open it up right now, and that is in my graphics folder, and it's called the 2013 banner template, so it's going to be found right here. And right here, we are going to be using the desktop, which is this darker gray one out of the 3. So we have the minimum area, the tablet area, and then the desktop area. So I'm, of course, going to go with the desktop area. So right now what I'm going to do is just get rid of some of these. So I'm going to get rid of the tablets and your average desktop. Again. I'm going to get rid of the text. Alright, so right here we just have our basic avatar. This is where the links will be, and then our background. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to obviously want my name to be put in there, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use, of course, the one that I have already had that's on my background right now, which is going to be found. Let me open that up real quick. We're going to go into my YouTube folder. We're going to go to my past projects, the PSDs 2013, and then it can be found right here. So this is my PoshDesigns that I just made real quick here in Photoshop. It looks pretty nice, and I definitely like the way it looks. So I'm going to be using this as my text. Of course, if you guys have a customized logo or a text logo of yourself, definitely go ahead and use that. That's what I'm going to use. I can't really walk you guys through on how to make your own logo, because that's a totally separate tutorial. But I'm just going to be using this, so I'm going to drag this on into my 2013 YouTube banner template. And I'm going to hit Control T, and I'm going to hold down Shift, just so it does maintain its aspect ratio. And before I do that, I want to right click and say Convert to a Smart Object. And now I'm going to minimize it down a little bit. Alright, so right about there looks about good, because I want mine to be on the left side of the account. So that looks about good. We also have to keep in mind that our YouTube avatar is going to be popping up right there, but it's not a big deal to me. I really don't care if it is, shown under it or whatnot. Just because of the fact that the YouTube avatar says the Posh, so not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit Control T again. I'm going to have it kind of slightly have a tilt to it, so about right there looks good. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just make another copy of that real quick, and I'm going to drag it under there, and I'm going to turn the opacity down on that to about 10%, and I'm going to hit Control T again. And we're just going to have it pop up like that. Alright, that looks about good. And then what I'm going to do is hit Filter, Blur, and go to Gaussian Blur, and just have that have a nice little blur to it, just so it's not very noticeable. So we're going to hit about, maybe, I'm going to go about 1.5%. Actually, we'll go about 2. And we're going to hit OK. And then what I want to do is I want to have this be selected onto the desktop area. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to hold down Alt and Alt again, and I'm just going to hit those so they mask to the desktop banner area. And I'm going to right click on the desktop area, and I'm going to hit Color Overlay, and I'm actually going to overlay it with, actually I'm not going to overlay it just because of the fact that it's going to change the color of the whole place. So what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit more of a darker background, just kind of like that, just so it's a little bit darker. I like the darker color, so we're going to settle with that. And I might change the opacity of the text just down to maybe 85%, just so it's not so bright. And then what I want to do is I'm going to, of course, start to make it a little bit more popping, so when someone does click on my channel, it is noticeable. So what I want to do now is I'm going to start to have it come behind here and just kind of follow the steps that I'm going to go. I can't really explain it to you right now at the moment, just because I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it, but it'll go somewhere. So I'm going to have, I'm going to take my pen tool, I'm going to make a new layer, and this is just going to be called arc, and I'm going to have it start right at the end, at the bottom of this P, and then what I'm going to have it do is come right about here, and I just want to have it arc, so I'm going to hold down Alt, kind of scroll out a little bit, and I just want it to kind of make an arch. And what this arch is going to basically do is it's going to kind of have a little bit of color added into the scenario of my background without having to completely have it kind of be dull. I don't really want it to be dull, and I don't want it to not catch people's eyes. I'm actually going to make a new point right here and try it this way because I want it to be a noticeable arc. So maybe right about there. And then what I'm going to do is hold down Alt and hit this little square right there. And I'm just going to come around. And there we go. Now I want to pick a color that's going to catch people's eyes, of course. But I also want it to kind of go with the theme of this text right here. Which there's not really any text that's going to go very smooth with it just because of the fact that and I think I said text, sorry, there's not going to be really any color that's going to go smooth with this arc just because it is going to be pink, green, blue, and gray. So what I'm going to choose is I'm going to, let's see, we're going to go right click and say fill path. I'm going to go to color and I'm going to pick a bright pink just because of the fact that we're using a pink background with that. So I'm going to have this get converted to that, and then what I want to do is I want to take away the pink that's up here just because you don't want it to completely fill up the background right here. And actually, and like I said, I'm doing this all off of just kind of in the moment, so bear with me while I'm trying to figure out what I want to do personally. And you know, actually I'm going to select my paintbrush and I'm going to be on the arc itself, and I'm going to paint, I'm going to paint in this area right over here. Just going to paint that just like that. Alright. So I don't want it to be shown at the bottom of the text, but I am going to have it show up right here. And then what I want to do is, let's see, what do I want to do? I'm going to make another arc that's going to come up from the bottom. Let's see, how do I want to do it? Yeah, we'll make another arc that comes slowly but surely right up here. So I'm going to take my pen tool again, and I'm still on the arc, and what I want to do is just make one more arc, and let me zoom out a little bit. I want to make one more arc that's going to kind of match the arc that we already have above. So maybe right there. Alright, yeah, that looks about good. And what I actually am going to do is I'm going to take away that point, and I want it to still go off of the screen. I don't want it to end on the screen, so we're gonna have it right about there. And I'm just going to come down here, right click, say fill path. Okay. Alright, so now we have this kind of arc type deal going on right here, and what we're going to do with this arc is we're actually going to have this be the center point, and we're actually going to take away some of the arc so we can add like a little message in there. So what I'm meaning by this, and I'm actually going to Control Z just a minute so it's unfilled, and I'm going to make another layer, and then I'm going to say fill path again, just so I can have 2 layers. So I'm going to call this layer the bottom arc, and this one the top arc. You guys don't have to do that. I just like to do that just to stay organized. And with this bottom arc, what I want to do is I'm going to Control J it, and I'm going to again hold down Alt, and then I want to move this just a tad bit, but I also want to change the color just so I know which one's which. So I'm going to change this to white, and then what I'm going to do is pull this down just a tad bit. So I'm going to hold down my bottom arrow key, and right about there looks good. And then what I'm going to do is hold down Alt, sorry, not Alt, but Control. I'm going to hit the little picture of it right there. I'm actually going to take away it by hitting that little I. I'm going to go to the original bottom arc. I'm actually going to hit delete, and that's going to delete just so it almost looks kind of just like a bridge. It's not going to be a full solid color anymore. And after I do that, I can just delete that bottom arc copy. And what I want to add in here is, and actually let me Control D that for a minute, and I'm going to hold this dotted line, and I'm going to pull it down just a tad bit. So right about there, that looks good. Alright, so we're going to hit that. Alright, so I just did that just because I didn't want to have it be, there we go. Alright, hold Control D, get that out of here. Alright, so now that I have a little bit more bigger of an arc down here, what I want to do is I'm going to kind of put like a slogan, or you guys can put like the #1 source of stuff, or whatever you guys want to do. And so what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to put my slogan, which is making your visions a reality. So I'm going to select a white color, and I'm using Typography Pro, and I'm going to say making your visions, comma, a reality. Alright, I'm going to hit Control A so it selects all that, and kind of make that a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to bring this down under it, and I'm going to take away this links overlay. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to hit Control A once again, make it a little bit bigger. Alright, and that looks about good. Alright, cool. And I might, let's see, how big is that? That's a little bit big. I didn't want it to be that big, so I'm going to turn it down to about 20. And then I'm going to take this bottom arc, right click on it, convert to a smart object, and I'm going to hit Control T. And then what I want to do is just kind of pull this out. So it's just a little bit more longer than anything. And I want to bring that back into maybe, yeah, we'll say right about there. And then what I want to have it do is I'm going to take my eraser tool and say that I want to erase this part right here, and I just want it to come out of this H. So just like that, just so we saw that bottom space underneath there. I'm going to take the text, and I'm going to actually make it to about 25 now. And then I'm going to come over here and hit this AV, my horizontal spacing of my letters. And I'm just going to kind of turn it up just a tad bit, just so we can get some spacing between the letters, because that always gives a nice little dramatic effect. And we want it to be right in the middle of that arc. So to put it in the middle of this arc, we're going to hit the text, hold down Control, hit the bottom arc, and then go to our selection tool and just make sure that that is right in the middle, which it is right in the middle of that. So sweet. And I might take it, and I know I'm changing the size of it a lot, but I'm going to change it back down to about 20, just because I don't like it when it's really huge and stuff. It's not really, it doesn't really look good to me. So, alright, so we're going to leave it right there, making your visions a reality. And then what I want to do is I'm going to also, we're going to put something in this little space right here, and what it's going to say is it's going to say, we'll put subscribe. So let's choose a nice fun type of text. We're gonna go with bada boom. That's what I always turn to when I'm trying to make some cool kind of funky text. So I'm gonna type in subscribe, and we don't want that. Actually, yeah, we do. We're gonna bring that down here, and I'm going to select it. I'm gonna go back, scroll up to the bada boom. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, obviously, because we want it to catch people's eyes. Take off the horizontal spacing that you did on the text below. And so I'm going to make it a little bit more bigger. Sorry about there. Actually, I might add in about a 5 horizontal spacing just to give it a little breathing room through here. And then I'm going to make that in the middle again of that bottom arc, which it already is. And then what you want to do is you want to either take the sub and turn it pink or the scribe and turn it pink. It's really up to you what you guys want to do. I'm just going to take the scribe and I'm going to turn that pink. So just like that, and now we have more of a popping text that's going to kind of catch our viewers' eyes while they're on our channel. Now what you guys can do is you can take the top arc also and take blending options and create a drop shadow. Me personally, I like the distance to be at about 1, and then the size, it's really all up to you. I'm going to make mine to about a 20, and then we're going to make the bottom arc a 20 as well. So 1 and a 20. Alright, and then you can also take your subscribe and right click on it, go to blending options, lay down a drop shadow behind that. And I'm going to actually just leave mine, no, I'll bump it up to about maybe a 10. And then the bottom text that says making your visions a reality, I'm going to take that and go to blending options, and I'm going to add my own custom style that I always use on some of my text. And now we have a nice looking banner so far. Now what we can also do is we can either add a texture behind there, or we can leave it just a plain old gray, which I'm really liking the look of how it's looking so far. I'm actually going to go to my original copy of my logo, go to blending options, and also add a drop shadow onto that. I think that would look nice with the drop shadow behind there. I'm going to make it about maybe a 25. And the spread, I'm going to add about a 5 and hit OK. And then what I want to do is I want to add either in that texture that I was talking about, or I want to either save it as a save it for web and devices, and then we can come back to it if we want to make any small changes. But right now I'm liking how it looks. I don't think that I want to mess around too much with it anymore. I like the way how it's laid out right now. It's not overdone, it's not too much that's going on, but it also looks pretty nice, and it keeps a good feel for it. So, and actually, you know what I might do? I might add in something right up here. Let's see, what could we add in there? Maybe we'll add in our days that we upload. So I'm going to actually take out a little chunk of the top one right up here, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when I do it, but I'm going to maybe start right on over here, and then I'm going to zoom out just a tad bit, and let me make that right there, and then I'm going to have it cut down into this, say right click, make selection, say OK, go to the top arc and then hit delete, and right there now it's going to give us a little room to play with. And I'm going to say uploads on Monday, actually here, sorry, uploads on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'm going to drag that down here. Since I couldn't see it, I'm going to type it in just one more time. Uploads Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'm going to take away this spacing in it. And actually I might add in, maybe we're going to give it like a 150 spacing in between the letters. Add it right on into there. And I'm going to say uploads Monday, and I'm going to change the Monday to pink. Sorry. Phone dropped on the ground. Pink, and Friday is going to be pink. And there we go. Now we have a nice looking banner for our new YouTube 1 layout. So yeah, guys, I think this is where I'm going to cut off this tutorial, just because I don't want it to be too lengthy for you guys. But this is what I'm going to go with, and this is how I'm going to have mine look. Of course, in the future, you guys will see me change it up. If you guys do like another layout that you guys do see on my channel in the future, definitely leave a comment in the comment section below of one of my videos saying, hey, could you show us how you made it? And I'll definitely get right to that. But with this one, this is going to be a little bit more advanced. I'm sorry if you couldn't really follow along just because of the fact that maybe you guys aren't too well known with Photoshop. But people have been asking me to make a more advanced tutorial on how to make a YouTube 1 template. So this is what I went with. So if you guys did like it, please give the video a big thumbs up. Please let's get this tutorial up to 15 likes. That'll be great. Until next time, guys, my name's Andrew from PoshDesigns, and I make your visions a reality.
My thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go. Owers and tastemakers make us no chaser. Gets the blood flowing like a fucking pacemaker. Cut the middleman.